Hello everyone. Now, in this session today, we will be having a topic called inverse of a relation. In my previous sessions, you have seen what we mean by relation. And now, as name suggests here, that whatever we have in relation, inverse, we expect to finish that or something like that. We use this word inverse in mathematics in different concepts. Like you have learned two operations, multiplication and division. What job multiplication does, division finishes. So we may call division is inverse operation of multiplication. So inverse word would be used in mathematics in various concepts. So one place is relation. So as I said that inverse is related to a given relation. That means first we will have to know a given relation, and in that context we would be able to describe what we mean by inverse of a relation. So let us define it. I say if R is a relation from set A to set B, means I would write ARB. Small a, small b I will be using for elements. If I say R is a relation from set A to set B, then inverse of relation R would be from set B to set A. So there has to be some notation, and notation is R inverse. Mind you please, if I am writing that -1 there with R, do not understand it as 1 upon R. We are not going to divide. It is just a notation to show that we are talking about R inverse. Now, if I have to understand this in picture notation, because what happens at times when we are writing definition in words, it becomes a long statement. Some of you may not understand. Some of you may feel like just memorizing it. Instead of that, please see it in the picture form. I have taken set A. I have taken set B. Then I have shown one arc from A to B. That I have shown upper arc as R. And then I write from another arc from B to A. And there I have written R inverse. So what do we expect? That if there is some element A in set A and some element B in set B, then A would be related to B and would be written as ARB, or we write it as what? That ordered pair AB belongs to R. And then if I have to write now R inverse, so what do we expect? That B comma A belongs to R inverse. Means what? That you write down relation as a subset of A cross B, write down all those pairs A comma B type, and then write them in the reverse order, B comma A, and make a collection now. Now this collection, again write in curly bracket to make it a set, and that set would be nothing but R inverse. Now, is it not clear that domain of R inverse is set B? Why? Because it starts from set B. And then we have set B as range of R. So understand this, what was range of given relation, that becomes the domain of now inverse, and next would be range of R inverse, and that is nothing but domain of R. I hope everyone understands. R starts from set A, so that was domain of R. Now this would become nothing but range of R inverse. Let us revise once more. AB belongs to R. Now if R inverse is there, then it would be equivalent to BA belongs to R inverse. And this happens for all A belongs to set A and small b, all B belongs to set B. Now let us take one example to make things clear. If I have taken set R as a collection of ordered pairs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now how do we write R inverse? We write them in the reverse order. So 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5. These pairs must appear in R inverse. Now can we write from here what is domain of R or R inverse, or what is range of R and R inverse? So let us write domain of R. That would be set of the first element of every ordered pair of relation R. So this is a set containing 1, 3 and 5. Now mind you please, this will become range of R inverse. And range of R must be the set containing second elements of all ordered pairs. So that should be nothing but 2, 4. So we make a set, and that works as range of R. Now mind you please, what is domain of R is going to be range of R inverse. And what is range of R? That is going to be domain of R inverse. So we realize the domain of R inverse is nothing but set containing 2, 4, 6, and range of R is nothing but set containing 1, 3, 5. I hope in this part you have understood that if a relation R is given to you, we should be in position to write R inverse. Let us move to next. We take some properties. Some of them may be very trivial to you, but let us make a note once. Like R inverse is R. And I'm sure intuitively all of you were expecting this. Reason that first, whatever relation R would be given to you, you will write all those ordered pairs in the reverse order. And if you write them again in the reverse order, are we not expecting to get back from where we started? So if I take one example, that suppose relation R is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then R inverse should be 2, 1, 4, 3, 6, 5, right? Now what I have done, I have written those pairs in the reverse order. And now if I am asked to write once more inverse, means what will I do? Again I write those ordered pairs in the reverse order. So that 2, 1 in the reverse order now will become 1, 2. And then 4, 3 will become 3, 4. 6, 5 will become 5, 6. And what is it? This is R inverse. And this is again nothing but R. So R inverse would be nothing but R. Now, I am writing here some new type of relation, and it is nothing but universal relation. And that universal relation R is if it is nothing but A cross A. Means to write A cross A, you have to write all possible ordered pairs, right? And then relation R is actually going to be normally a subset of A cross A. And now here, if you want that relation R to be a universal relation, then it should be same as nothing but A cross A. Means if you start writing that subset, and if it turns out to be nothing but A cross A itself, then this relation would be nothing but the universal relation. Now, let us take one example to make things more clearer. I take set A as set of all parallel lines. I have already taken in set A parallel lines only. And I say A related to B, its meaning is, means the relation is that line A is parallel to line B. Now what are you expecting? You keep making pairs and you will find that line A and line B, they actually are given to be parallel to each other. So you pick up any two lines, every time you will get nothing but two parallel lines only. So realize this, that A cross A would be nothing but that relation R, or R is nothing but A cross A. So what we are observing here is R is nothing but the universal set. Now let us take one more type of relation, a new one. This is void relation. I mean, see, in mathematics we have taken care of every possibility, that there could be answer for nothing also. That nothing is nothing but phi. Nothing is nothing but phi. See how even I am saying. So realize this, that nothing comes in that set, means if that set happens to be an empty set, then that set would be called, or that relation would be called a void set. Now it's better to take one example and make things clearer to us. I take set of parallel lines. My set A is set of parallel lines. And if I give relation, a line A is perpendicular to line B. Mind you please, that line A and line B have to come from set A only. Now will we be able to get any such relation? I mean, will you be able to get any two lines which are perpendicular to each other also and parallel to themselves? I mean, to one another. So realize this is not going to happen. So will we be able to collect any lines, any pairs? No, not possible. So the relation is nothing but a void set. Now let us move to next. And the next type is identity relation. Identity relation means if you are given set A and small a, an element of set A, and you make pairs of the type where only A comma A appears, and make a collection of that. So obviously it would be a subset of A cross A, obviously, and then we realize that such a relation will have pairs like 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, something like that I am saying. So A comma A, where A belongs to set A. This relation is called identity relation. Now, should we take one example to make things clearer? Let us take that. I have taken set A as A comma B comma C, and then how do we write identity relation? That element A is related to itself. So obviously A comma A would be a pair, B comma B similarly would be a pair, and C comma C also would be a pair. Is there any fourth element in set A? No. So how many such possibilities are there? Only three. Only three pairs we are expecting. So make a set of them. That would be that set, rather subset of A cross A would be nothing but relation IA. IA is notation for identity relation. So in short, we have taken few new names also and the meaning of inverse of relation. So when we meet next time, I would come with something new again. Till then, stay tuned. Bye. Thank you.